Hello people, welcome, and this is going to be a tutorial on what I have now named the Minivia. It's a variation of an existing design that you can find on YouTube. It's pretty much like a Pinavia, but instead of using only one lane, it uses two lanes inside or internally as well. But I wanted to see if I could make it even smaller so the footprint isn't as large. I think this is around half the size of a Pinavia, so that's quite a huge difference. We're gonna start out pretty much the same as we used to. So we're gonna grab road, and we don't need to do the square thing, we just need to make one road like this. Then we're gonna go to the end, place a segment, and the same again here. And then we can delete this guideline. Then you wanna go to highways. The first one you wanna make into one lane. Then you're going to grab the 2 lane and place this next to it. And in this case we want a distance roughly like so. And it actually matters this time that you get this fairly precise or as close as possible. I think this is okay. As you can see, we're now using 1 and 2 2s instead of 5 1s. And the reason for that will become evident in the end. Now we're going to go to 12.5. We're going to start up with a 1 lane. Again, minding the guidelines. And this time drag it out to 64. And whoops, make sure it's a curve, not a straight line. There we go. 64, where is it? There we go. And 64. So we get a nice 90-degree angle on that. The good thing is we also get this middle pillar, which is going to help us. I'm just going to eyeball it, roughly in the middle, like so. Go down to 64, again. And then we're going to grab the 2 lane, but unlike the other design, we want to get close to it like this. And go to, with guidelines turned off, go to 64. And do another one on the other side. Again, go close. Keep the segment small, and then you go up to 12.5. And here it actually matters that you initially at least keep somewhat of a distance. Don't go close, because it will cause you problems later on. So we're gonna go in, find the 90 degrees, and remember to turn on the curves. I always forget that. Fairly easy to fix though. 90 and guideline. There we go. Now in the original Pinavia design you would make then these 2 lines here, or curves. We're not going to do that, we're going to make this one first. We're going to snap to geometry instead. Find the end of the road. Turn on guidelines. And then you want to line up with this one. And then line it up with this one here. Like so. Now you can make this one here. But unlike the first time, we are gonna give ourselves a little bit of distance here. And we're gonna make sure it's an S-curve. Turn snapping off. And then you're gonna go point here, go up to 12.5. And sort of, you see that became a little bit too close to my taste for this design. So we're gonna go outside here instead. Click here, and that's not good either. So you wanna play around a little with what looks good, right? This can almost work, but it really does matter, because in the end when you're gonna hook everything up, the slightest little error can throw it off and make it hard to connect the last few lanes. Thought it was around here. I'm almost willing to throw in the towel here just to come past this. So it's roughly around here somewhere. That's not too bad. But you want to turn on guidelines for the last one to make it sure it lines up with, if you can, both this one and, as you can see, that's why it needs to be fairly Maybe go for the middle. That's better at least, but it's too sharp an angle. Guidelines on. This is better. Kind of line it up with this line. So you get this. This is the first quarter of Minivia. Now we can delete these, and then we do the whole process around. Now I'm not going to speed it up because there will be some little quirks now compared to Pinavia. It's not as simple. So now we're going to do the first line again, 12.5, or the first curve. Make sure it lines up with the pillars, and you're going to grab the right lane as a starting point, not the end point here, which would be possible if you had this turned on, for example. Or sometimes later on you will get guidelines to put you out here somewhere. Make sure it's this point here where it intersects with the pillars. So click this, go to 64. Go to 64. Keep angles turned on to help you. And we still have our middle pillar, which is good. Gonna eyeball it to the middle. Like so. Now go to 2 lanes. Go down to 0 meters height. Snap just on the edge. Turn snap off. 64. Turn snap on. Small segment. Let go. Curve on. And go to 12.5. Again, keeping a distance. Down to 0. Keep 90 degrees. And snap to guidelines. Now let's remember to flip the roads with snapping turned on. Like so. And here, when you're doing this design, you really have to mind. If you're flipping a 2-lane road, you want to be equipped with a 2-lane road. Because otherwise it's gonna really mess up the design and it's gonna be hard to fix. So far so good. Then we connect this one again. That's the first one. Geometry snap. Guideline snap. Come out to where it intersects, which must be here. Turn off the guideline snap, because now I want to slide this in ever so slightly, because I find that the curve looks better somehow. And now you want to grab this one again, S-curve on. See if you can use the guideline still. This will become a problem later on because you have so many guideline points going on. Put this down around here. Go to 12.5, make sure snapping is off. And then we know the points from last time was roughly here, here. And what you want to do now is you want to grab this road and you want to line it up so the innermost curve, the curve to the right side looks nice. Do not mind the gap between the 2 existing roads. We're gonna fix that later. Place this, looks like this. Make sure to flip the road with snapping on. Make sure you have the right road. Right type. There we go. Also, this one still needs flipping. And this looks fine. We can now remember to delete these. And then we do it all again. From this point on, it's the same as you just saw. But you know, be careful. And let's catch up again once we are on the other side of this build. So I'm gonna speed up the footage now. So we come to the end point here. What you want to do now is at the end here, when you want to connect this one to this one, you want to grab it by the left line make sure the cross hair is there, and go down and do the same thing by lining up 180 and the guideline here, roughly. I mean, it's not gonna break the design if you don't. This, and then flip the road, make sure you have the right road and snapping turned on. And then we can connect the last few lanes here. Go out, find this point, turn the snapping off again, slide it in, like so. And at this point you might consider, oh, this is far too, the distance is too great here. And that's, you can just do like this and redo it manually. And I kind of like to end up, because you have pillar here and you have pillar here, so it makes sense to start there, right? So we're gonna go like this-ish. And then again, with the snapping off, we're gonna snap around here, here, and then up here. No, try again. Kind of line that up nicely, like so, and then reconnect this one down here. And this is, there's something wrong about this one actually, now that I'm seeing it again here. It feels like it's too low, so we might just have to redo this one. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I might make sure that this is completely flat, because for some reason it kind of rose up a bit. So we're gonna do that, and then we're just gonna redo this one as well, and do that around where the pillars are, which must be here. Keep a little bit of distance. Snap, snap, 12.5. Just want to get a bit up top here so I can get a better view. Maybe kind of grab this one like this, and then have a look. Still seems a bit short, but I actually think the vehicles are gonna go under fine. So let's just try it out, right? And then connect this again. So, guidelines at this, turn it off, slide it in. So it is a bit wonky here now. We will get that, maybe do that one first anyways then. And you see, the reason I'm showing this is a kind of problem you can run into. So just be prepared and look for solutions. Like so. Here, slide it in. So this is fine now. Then we want to find a way to hook that up again. S-curve. Maybe keep a bit more distance. How is this looking? Should be around here. We could go a little bit back, I guess. Start here maybe. And then stepping off. See, this is allowed. Maybe go like this. Have a look. It does look low, but I think it's okay. So what's left to do now is connecting these additional lanes here. You do that by grabbing one lane, and you then grab a straight one, snap to geometry, and then we're gonna find the sweet spots for this. Because if you just go, I'm gonna go here, it might end up being red, then you go here, then the geometry looks bad, or the lane looks, you know, too steep or angled. So you couldn't go a little bit back, and this is just playing around, because if you did the whole initial thing right, there shouldn't be a problem connecting these. like so. And of course we're gonna have to flip this road to get rid of these little errors. And we need to connect the last one as well, I guess. Let's see if it allows us to do that. Flip it. Was that all the flips? Yep. Back to the connecting these little parts here. So that was one. Go to the next. Find a spot we think might be good. That looks red. So find another spot. Looks bad. And just try it a bit, because sometimes you might actually need to make a compromise here. This is okay. That's okay as well. And that's okay. Good. So that's pretty much the Pinavia done, except for the outer lanes, of course. And I want to do that in a different way than we did in the other one, because I want to place down the connecting highway first. And the way you do that is just take a straight one and keep geometry snap. And then, sorry, for this one, the left highway, you want to grab the left lane, go down, maybe keep angles on just for making it look pretty. And I'm going to 90 in this case, so we keep remembering the 90. And then in this case, you want to grab the right lane and go down and snap here. Of course, do it the other way around or flip it, up to you, like so. Do that all the way around. Good. And then the final part is grabbing in one lane. And the reason I did it this way is because I want to do it in one go. I don't want to do these kind of segments. So I want to find a sweet spot. So we go to the end of the road here, hook that up. And then I find that if I turn this off and this off, let's see, I think it's around 40 here. No, let's say just to get around number 30. That could work. Maybe keep the geometry snap on so you can end up at the end. Now it says 90, right? 90 meters and roughly 120 hooked up. And see, oh, it did that. So delete this immediately and this part. And this actually means there's a little bit of stuff going on here. We need to replace that road. So we're gonna hook that up again. Do it right. And in this case, I'm just gonna grab it here instead. And go down. Oops, straight line. And then flip. Then we can grab this one lane again. And maybe the reason it did that is because we went too far out, so maybe go sort of where it stops being a straight line here. And let's go to all this off. I really want us to hug these, right? So I'm using, what I'm going to use as a guide point here is I'm going to pick, let's put it here on the point of this little thing, the hole in the bridge, and swing around, and then find the equal or the same kind of where the straight line ends, put it in. There we go. Do this all the way around and you're done. And there we have it, the Minivia. Now, if we had a full-size Pinavia next to it, it would look really small. Of course, there's no reference right now, so but I hope you can get the idea anyways. You're gonna get the benefits of a Pinavia, so it's free-flowing traffic. with a smaller footprint. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and found it useful, and if you did, please drop a like and subscribe and follow. And I hope to see you again next time. And that's it for me for now. I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.